Good morning, Stirling.
Good morning.
It's a real pleasure to be here with you in your beautifully designed, state-of-the-art house here in Mayfair.
Thank you.
Could you tell us a few bits of history about this particular house?
Yeah, well, after the war, this would be the last site in Mayfair that was bombed. So I had a house just down the road, 3638, and I could see this bomb site here. And then I found out that it was going to be for sale, and I went along and asked them, and they wanted to sell me the other bit, which was far too expensive. Anyway, we negotiated a decent price, and I was able to buy this freehold. So really, this is the best investment I've had in my life, really.
Marvellous. And did you have fun building it, or was it a bit of a stress to build it?
Oh no, I had great fun because I had an accident just before, and therefore my PA of that time, she had to take over the downside of looking after the builders. But I did the design on flight, so in those days it took 14 hours to go to New York. And I would use that time to design exactly what I wanted, where I wanted different handles and outlets and plugs and all that sort of stuff. And I got down to it and got a good builder. And here it is.
I think it's fair to say that in those days, the house drew a lot of attention for all its new innovations.
Yeah, well, I travel around a lot, and I really enjoy gadgets. And by going around, as I was, of course, at that time, I'd been racing. And so I'd been in a lot of places and found a lot of ideas. And I brought them back, found good people to put them in for me, because it's quite difficult. You know, some of the things are quite novel over here, and we're talking now, of course, in 1962, so quite a long time ago.
And over the years, obviously your track record speaks for itself for racing, but you were one of the most efficient and precise drivers, and I noticed that a lot of the innovations you brought to this property are about making your time and life here efficient and precise.
Yeah, well, my main thing, because this is where I live as well as my office, and which is great because motor racing and PR sort of have to go hand in hand. So living here, and always the press could get hold of me because I was been in the telephone book all my life. The people, some people don't like their name in, I don't mind. If somebody rings up and says something awful, I'll say something even worse back to them, so it didn't matter to me. But so it really is my home and my work.
Of course, Stirling, here in this marvellous house, you have a brilliant invention, a carbon fibre lift designed for you by the Williams team. How did that come about?
Well, I've got it's a small size, but I feel living in Mayfair, one ought to have a lift, hopefully big enough maybe for a wheelchair if one needs it. And I went to Williams and said, look, is there any chance of you making a really strong lift for me? And Patrick Head said, when my boys have got nothing to do, which goodness knows when that is, but still, he said, yes, we'll make you one. And so I've now got this carbon fibre lift, which has to be the only carbon fibre lift in the whole world, and designed by the Williams team.
Brilliant. And you have this amazing tap in your kitchen upstairs that seems to give you every kind of water available. I
have a tap upstairs, which is pretty good, I must say. You turn it, and you can get different amount of fizz in it, very fizzy or lightly fizzy, and so on. And of course, it's cold. Obviously, cold water, and it's really nice. I mean, in the summer, people come in and say, "Would you like a cup of tea, or would you have a nice cold fizzy water?" Well, that we can cope with that as well.
And one thing I've never seen before is a high pressure, well, you call it a tornado, high pressure wind machine that gets you dry after showering. How did that come about?
Well, I heard about this thing, and I contacted them and said, you know, could I get one? And it was organised, and it's 6.4 kilowatts, I think, and you put your foot on a button in the shower, and then this thing blasts out. Either you can choose how much of a blast you want, and you don't need towels.
Absolutely marvellous. Warmup, of course, warms your whole living area up there, and it guides you to your incredibly state-of-the-art toilet. Where did you find that?
That comes from Japan, actually. It's a toilet that does the business, and it's really terrific. It's got a heated seat, obviously, and when I sit at the toilet, I have my feet on my warm-up tiles, which is just great. And those in turn, of course, I program for when I'm going to be here and when I'm going away, because it's got this very sophisticated gadget, if you like, so you control it even if you're not here. And you know, and as I go around the world, I find different things. You know, door locks change or this change, and I try to bring it up to date whenever it happens.
Of course, you reminded me now that you have one of the few things I don't think I've ever seen, an electronic door opener for your front door.
Yeah, well, when you arrive at the door, unless you've got one of those on you, it won't let you in.
I know that now.
Yeah, exactly. You've found that one.
And of course, your new car, everybody looks at the cars that you drive. I know you've got a long association with Maserati and Mercedes.
Yeah.
And here you are with a Twizy. Tell us about the Twizy.
Well, the Twizy is electric, and it's got a 50-mile range roughly. But living in town, it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, first of all, you don't pay congestion, you don't pay for the meters. If you can find a meter, you put it on, it's free because it's electric. Driving it around, it's very maneuverable. It's just a nice piece of gear, actually. It is of today, that's the point.
And now here we are. You've done a marvellous reformulation of your entire house. We're delighted to be part of it. We did some nice work with you, and I'm here seeing it finished. Are you enjoying living in your new house?
Oh, very much. I mean, it's just been upgraded, and because new things are coming out all the time. I mean, when I did this, it was that many 50 years ago. So obviously things have changed enormously. I mean, what the law would allow now and what wouldn't allow then was quite stringent, and it was a bit of a hassle. I had to get planning permission, and I got permission for extension further, and you know, those things are time consuming, and but the thrill of actually seeing it created and being here with it was quite important.
Marvellous. Your top floor now is heated with Warmup underfloor heating, and we're delighted to be part of your project.
So am I.
Are you enjoying it?
I mean, I get up in the morning and walk across the floor and it's already warm. And I sit on the toilet and boy, I've got the tiles there. It's wonderful. I mean, even in the heat of summer, it's still very pleasant to sit down and feel it warm on your feet. So I'm a great fan, I must tell you.
You know, one of the things we've always said at Warmup is that, you know, the world really is full of professional sport, of certain role models. But in Britain, actually, we're rather starved of fantastic role models that are courageous, they're skillful, they're world champions in every way that you could possibly want to be. And it's an honour for us to be working with you and be part of your project. And it's a pleasure for everybody at Warmup to have this relationship.
Well, I must thank you, because it means I have lovely warm feet when I get on the tiles. So Warmup, you're welcome. Right. Just going off shopping. This is my shopping car, which is really great. It's a Twizy, and it's electric power, which is really good in London. Does at least 50 miles an hour, and we've got a range of about 50 miles. So see you later.